Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Gunna Fan TV. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. Yes, looking forward to this weekend. Arsenal versus Newcastle. We travel to Newcastle in search of 3 points. How's that worked out for us so far? Going to Newcastle and playing them at home. It's a dreadful place, man. We've had, I don't even want to say bad luck going there, but it's just Eddie Howe has definitely had the upper hand on Arteta in the last couple of games that we've played Newcastle. Is this going to be different this weekend? Honestly, it has to be. Because for me, the scenario is dire. Like I'm looking at this scenario and it's a must-win situation for Arsenal. Because we're in second position with 10 points. And with that said, there's a couple of teams including Tottenham, that's also tied on 10 points. Bournemouth is tied on 10 points with us also. Crystal Palace has 9. Who else has 9? There's someone else with 9. Chelsea has 9, and Sunderland has 8. Fulham 8. Manchester City with 7. So the way I'm looking at this is, if we lose against Newcastle and everybody else wins all the names I've listed just now who are below us, if all those teams win their games this weekend, guess where Arsenal will end up? Arsenal possibly would be in 8th position. I, Listen, the math doesn't lie. It's as simple as that, right? Newcastle beats us, and that's what's going to happen. If they beat us, we're going to be in 8th. Well, bar everybody else wins, right? If everybody else wins their game this weekend, um, and I'm not saying that's 100% for sure, but it could happen. When you're looking at who these teams are playing, like Tottenham is playing Wolves, right? Obviously, I think Bournemouth is playing Leeds, and they should be able to pull that off, right? Um, Crystal Palace obviously is playing Liverpool. So if these teams win their games, they're going to go above Arsenal. And if we lose, right, we'll still be on 10 points. Tottenham will be on 13. Bournemouth would be on 13 if they beat Leeds, so on and so forth, right? So at the end of week 6, we could be in 8th position. It's very serious. I'm not sure why everyone's not panicking right now. Like I'm panicking. I'm losing my mind. Well, I'm not losing my mind, but I'm just saying worst case scenario, because when it comes to Arsenal, man, it's always the worst case scenario, right? You think you know what's going to happen, and then in the blink of an eye, things change. But let's hope for the best, guys. We have a decent squad that we should be taking to Newcastle on Sunday. Saka being fit again. Saliba is back in the squad. You know what I mean? It's not much injuries to talk about when it comes to main players. Odegaard would be the exception. I think he's back training. He should be fit enough to be on the bench. I wouldn't start him if I was Arteta. But again, knowing Arteta, he could do a madness and he could just put him in there. Because as we know, if he's fit, Arteta's son is going to start. That's either his stepson or I don't know what he is to Arteta, but he loves him. He loves that guy. So if he's fit, he's going to start. But again, as I said, all the players seem to be fit. We saw them this week, and it was another snore fest. Oh my God, Port Vale, they're like 19th in League One. Everybody else won their games convincingly, but for some reason, Arsenal was only able to score 2 goals with massive amount of possession. Right, we're trying to win games now with possession. The good thing I'll take away from that game is that we did not concede. So we've been pretty solid in defense. And the reason why I'm saying that, the point I'm going to make here is that for the last couple of games that I've been watching Newcastle, right? I've been watching Newcastle up against Liverpool, up against Barcelona at home. The first maybe 5 or 6, 7 minutes, even 10 minutes, they're going at it. They're going in search of a goal. Attack, attack, attack. Pressing, pressing, pressing. Winning the ball back. Going for a goal. If they happen to score a goal and go into a low block with the physical players they have, it might be a long night for Arsenal up there. With the fact that we've never really, gotten over Eddie Howe's tactics, it may be a long night up in Newcastle. So with us having an outstanding defensive record so far, this may suit us well going into tomorrow playing Newcastle, playing their style, playing what Newcastle typically does, their style of play, which they go out hard in the first 5 or so minutes, 10 minutes, try to get a goal, and if they do nick a goal, it might be a problem. So, with the way we're playing, and the way our defense is structured now, and the outcomes, and not conceding, it may benefit us as it pertains to the way they go out in the first couple of minutes of the game. With that being said, I do expect Arsenal. For me, they're the favorites. I mean, despite what I just said, we have the better team. And if we have the better team, then we should be the favorite. Putting players on that pitch, lining up these players against each other, we do have the better players from back to front. So for me, the advantage is the odds aren't against us going into this game, regardless if we've been up there before and we've struggled to put together wins or even score a goal. I remember last season we didn't score a goal against Newcastle in throughout the FA was it no the Carabao Cup, right, which they won. So across the two legs, we weren't able to score any goals. But I think we're still favorites for tomorrow because we have the better squad, we have the better players, we have a better team. What is Arteta going to put out tomorrow? Is he going to still play that three? Rice, Zubimendi, and Moreno. It didn't work against Liverpool. Didn't really work against Manchester City. I'm not even going to say it didn't really work. It didn't work at all. And he realized his mistake and he went in the second half and he switched it. I've never seen that man go in the second half and switch anything. It's normally 60 to 7 in the 60th or 70th minute where he's making changes. So within himself, he felt like it didn't work. So he felt the need to go in there and switch it up. Madueke was supposedly injured, so we understand that change. But either way, that would be the change I would make. I would put Saka on the right, though. Sorry, Saka on the left, and I would keep Madueke on the right. But unfortunately, Madueke was injured, and he had to come off, and Saka became that swap. But I would have never started Trossard or Marino in that midfield. So for me tomorrow, it's pretty simple. Not just me. I'm pretty sure a lot of Arsenal fans who have no experience in coaching, a lot of fans who've never played any type of football or ball before, soccer as they call it in the States here. I'm used to football, so I call it football. And a lot of players who've never played the sport before, and you understand the game, and you're looking at Arsenal squad, you know what team to pick. It's not rocket science. As it has to start. Odegaard cannot be 100% fit. I don't care what you're telling me. He's not going to be 100% fit. So, with that being said, Eze needs to start in that position, point blank, period. Number 10. Number 10. That's it. He scored against Port Vale. He played a brilliant ball to Martinelli. He's the best creative player in that team, bar none. Facts. That's factual. He's the best in that position. He's better than Waneri. He's better than Odegaard. Who else? There's no one else in there to compare him to in that position, in that 10 position. Better than Trossard if you're going to put Trossard in there because he plays in that position sometimes. That's it. So what are we doing, Arteta? Are we trying to? Are you sabotaging yourself? Do you want to leave? Like, I don't understand. If he does a madness coming up Sunday, that only tells me he's sabotaging himself. Because if you're you couldn't be in your right mind and you're going to put out a team that's not your best team. It's no tactics. Whatever tactics you've been using, it hasn't been working. It hasn't been working for a while. You've been losing games. You know what I'm saying? You've been dropping points, especially against Newcastle. It hasn't worked. Eddie Howe has figured you out over the last couple of games. So for me to do or die, he needs to win. Going into the international break, we cannot get another loss. Cannot have another loss going into this international break the way we did Liverpool. All right. We need to close that gap in Liverpool because if it goes to 8 points, 7, 8 points, man. I'm gonna say it right now, it's over. You're not catching Liverpool, bro. Liverpool is not even playing well. They're not playing well. That's the scary part. They're not even out of first gear, bro. You know what I'm saying? When Isaac, when Isaac hits form, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Verts haven't really hit any form yet. Liverpool, they're conceding goals, so they're not at the level yet. So imagine when they get to that level. If they're playing the way they're playing right now, they're pulling off wins. You know what I mean? Just imagine that. It's going to be a problem. So it's do or die, bro. We have to go out there. We have to put out the best team. We have to win. Is it going to be Wanieri in the 10, Eze on the left, or is it going to be Eze in the 10 and Martinelli on the left? Quite frankly, I would put Eze in the 10 for me, Martinelli on the left. That's it. Martinelli has proven himself over the past couple of games. And again, he might just be an impact player, and that's all he's going to be for now under this system because he's way better. I was talking to one of my coaches this morning who coached me back in the day when we used to play Division One, and we both agree that Martinelli looks better coming through the middle. Right, he's that kind of player because he has pace. Right, so he'll use his pace and his dribbling ability. A lot of people think he can't dribble, but I feel like he could. When he's going through the middle, he's able to move the ball quickly past defenders. Right, but he's limited on the wing. He's not a touchline player. And he came on the other day and he scored two really important goals for us. So I think he deserves a start, but I wouldn't be expecting much. But I'd rather him over there than Trossard, and then you have Eze in the 10. Everything else just remains the same for me, the same back four. I hope he doesn't switch that. I mean, honestly, I feel bad for Skelly, but hey, you got to call it as you see it. Calafiori's playing well. So listen, the same back four, you know what I mean? You shouldn't really change that. Everyone's fit, so they should be good. As I said in the middle, the only change will be Marino. You take Marino out and you're putting in Eze. You have Saka, who's ready. I think he was hobbling at the end of the game against Port Vale, but I just think that's just probably like a little, sore knock. He got a knock in the first half. I think it was a tough tackle, so it's probably sore. But I think he should be good for that game. So you have him on the right, and then you have Martinelli on the left. You got Eze Rice and Zubimendi, and then you have Gyökeres up front. So it's pretty simple. We got to win. If we don't win and everybody else wins their game, then we're in trouble. It's that simple. So Mikel, don't go to bed tonight. And I mean, they're 5 hours ahead now, so he's probably sleeping already. But hopefully he doesn't have this vision in his mind where he needs to go out and just do, a craziness, a madness, something that no one's even thinking about. Because I think that's what he's about. Like he overthinks everything. You know what I'm saying? Even when the best option is right in front of him, he just decides to just go left and just try to be Picasso and just, do a craziness that no one expects. And it just doesn't make any sense. Just pick your best team. And your best team is the same back four that you've been using. Subamende, Rice. You're going to bring Eze in. You're going to have Martinelli on the left. You're going to have Saka on the right. And then you're going to have Gyökeres. Come on, bro. It's too simple. Let's do this. Come on, you Gunners. All right, guys. Listen, that's my prediction. We should win this game if we put the right team out there. No ifs, no buts, no babies. On your way out, guys, smash the like button, comment, subscribe. Appreciate the subscription so far. Listen, I'm trying to build this channel. I'm trying to do my thing out here. I'm not in it to make any money. I just love Arsenal. I love talking about Arsenal. If you have anything to say about Arsenal, even if you're not an Arsenal fan and you just love watching football, soccer, whatever you call it, let's have a discussion. Let's keep it friendly. Let's keep it clean. Listen, I respect everybody's opinion. This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion as it pertains to Arsenal. And let's just have a discussion, build a community, and just have fun while we're doing it. So I appreciate the subscriptions, the subs that you guys been sending my way. Continue to subscribe. Appreciate it, guys. All right. Have a blessed rest of your week. Stay safe. Listen, we'll be here for the watch along, and we'll talk some more after the game, guys. Peace.